Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. We're gonna get back into more foodie beauty content. We are back with another old video. This is my depression kitchen. We don't have any new videos. She is taking a break. Could be a couple days, could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months. We have no idea, but we're just gonna get straight into the video and let Foodie take it away.
Well, hello guys. Welcome back. Where's my...
God damn it, she got me. I honestly thought this was gonna be like a cleaning video or something, but no, she got me with the mukbang. Alright guys, strap in for some gross noises. Well, you guys are not gonna see it. I'm gonna cut it out for you guys, but I'm gonna see it, so wish me luck.
My ring is not around here? Oh well, I guess I took it off to clean, and yeah. So I'm gonna have dinner with you guys just a little bit and talk about, you know, what you just saw at the beginning. So Bismillah.
At this point, thanks to Foodie, I'm starting to believe that Bismillah is Arabic for let's get freaky.
The dreaded poisonous beef stew and my rice I made.
Oh, that must have been the sauce she was talking about the other day. I can't believe she's still gonna go through with that. Like, dude, if you left that out for hours after it's cooked, it could potentially be poisonous, but I mean, you're still alive, so it must have been fine.
You guys have to try that. You have to try cooking vermicelli noodles in some olive oil and a little bit of butter, making them brown, toasted, then cooking your rice in them. So good.
I mean, that sounds okay, but I'm like, I don't know, would it taste good? I mean, I guess I could give it a try. I really want to wait until wintertime so I can bring back some more foods that I used to eat. Not going overboard in like big portions or making unhealthy food, just healthier versions of what I used to make, like curries and soups and stews and stuff like that. Just really nutritious meals that you can have once in a while that isn't going to go overboard. Like, definitely the type of stuff that Foodie would make, but just much better versions, honestly.
I could eat this rice by itself.
Oh, you don't have to convince me of that, Foodie. Like, I've seen the way you eat rice, and it terrifies me every single time. Like, I think we're gonna have like an Anne Boleyn moment on camera with the potato, with Foodie with rice, and it's like, dude, every single time I think you can't shove more in your mouth, somehow you unhinge your jaw like an anaconda and you swallow more, and it's just like a terrifying sight.
Okay. Now, as you saw, I let my kitchen get into quite a state of disorder. And that sometimes happens when I'm not feeling good, like mentally, depression-wise.
I understand depression is a very serious thing and it requires sensitivity to the situation. And I'm not going to be harsh on people who have depression who are dealing with a state where they're not really... I want to say this in the best way. They're very nihilistic. You know, when someone is such a depressive state, they don't want to be around anymore. It's almost like, who cares? Nothing matters. Everything is just, you know, one big XYZ, essentially. And it's hard to care about something when you don't really care about living itself. So I completely understand and I agree that unless it becomes a hazard towards them or the people under their care, you know, children, their other partners, or like pets or something, that is really the only time people should become critical of the situation. But having a conversation with someone personally, be able to work out the issues, may be more beneficial than people harassing someone with depression. That being said, I don't know if it's depression from Foodie or if it's laziness, because let's face it, both Amber and Foodie are very lazy people, and then you add on top of that, they're morbidly obese, it makes it harder. So it may be depression, it may be morbid obesity and laziness, I don't know, it could be a combination of both, and I'm not going to really shit on her too much, as long as it's not a hazard to her partner and to her animals, I don't really care all that much.
Physically, everything. Usually my mental health, if I get really depressed, affects my physical ability too.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, a lot of people still aren't ready for that conversation where your mental health can affect your physical health, and you being mentally drained can also cause you to be physically drained. And as someone who deals with mental health issues and has a disability, it can be so draining just to socialize. And a lot of people see that and go, oh, wow, you're so weak. And it's like, no, that's just how my brain functions. And if I'm taking on my routine, it can mess me up badly. It is crazy how bad it can affect me. And I've never really talked about this, but I think it's funny. But when I went from like high school to university, and then university to working a job, I try to make sure that I had the exact same routine. So I was working 5 days a week, and I was also, going to university 5 days a week from Monday to Friday because that would be the days that I would also go to school. And I had a transition period where my first job was not Monday to Friday, and it caused me such emotional distress and mental distress because it wasn't those days and I was taken out of my routine. And thankfully now where I work, it is Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturday, but I usually get make sure that I get like an advance notice so that way I can mentally prepare. But no, it is crazy how much your mental and emotional health can just affect your physical health too. And like people seriously just do not take it, they don't take it seriously.
And keeping up with the most normal tasks, normal.
I don't know why she's saying that in quotations, like normal things, like cooking, cleaning, looking after yourself and your home are normal things. They're daily routines that you should be doing. So I don't know why she's putting it in quotations.
Tasks just feels unbearable. Like,
I understand that I'm very critical of these two, and I can give leniency where I believe it's due, and I think this is a type of conversation that you should be having, one, with your therapist, but two, with your audience in a vulnerable way. And I don't mind the conversations. Like, if you're willing to be truthful and showing your vulnerability and want to actually work on yourself, hell yeah, like, I don't mind that at all. That being said, not the type of conversation you should be having with a mukbang. Really not. If you're trying to express your depression in a way that seems sincere, shoving a bunch of food in your mouth halfway through a sentence is not going to help. It does the complete opposite.
Like, I literally cannot bring myself to move my body.
Seriously, Foodie, you can't be doing these things. You can't be saying that you can't move your body, you don't want to do anything, and then shove a bunch of food in your mouth. It does the complete opposite. This is why so many people are critical of you. You say something so serious, and then you follow it up with such a stupid action. And the thing is, Foodie, if you were sitting down face to face, just having a conversation one-on-one without the food, people would take you much more seriously. Like, just a genuine, good-hearted conversation about the struggles that you have, people would take you so much more seriously. Even reaction channels, not all of them, but some of them would take you more seriously. They'd be like, alright, cool, we understand, we have our own issues. We can understand and agree that sometimes it's hard to deal with things. But you doing this does not help. Like, you cannot sit there with your mouth full having a conversation about depression. You can't sit there stopping mid-sentence to talk about how hard it is to physically move about your house. Like, that's not something that can be done seriously. It's just a joke in most people's eyes, and they don't take it seriously because you're not taking it seriously. Same thing with Amber. She can't take things seriously, and then when she adds in the troll factor and people get really annoyed with her, she wonders why so many people are hypercritical of her. Because you do things in the wrong way. That's all it takes. Like, do the things the right way and people will be a lot more open to communication with you.
I don't know how to explain it.
It's not what you're saying, it's what you're doing. That's the issue. If you're willing to explain it verbally, sure, people can understand you. You are getting the point across. It's the actions of what you're doing is the issue. And I understand that I am being a little bit more lenient today. It's because I do have friends that deal with depression. I do have family members that deal with depression. I have lost 2 people to depression. It's a very sad thing, and I understand where they are coming from. Like, I myself don't have it, but I know people that do, and I know it's a very big struggle for them. So I'm willing to give her a little bit of a break. Not too much. Tomorrow, when we probably do the Q&A, I'm going to be harsh again, but at the same time, I'm willing to give her a little bit of a break.
If you have a bunch of kids and you have like a full-time job, I don't know how you do it. And have to clean like the whole house and everything.
Because it's supposed to be a joint effort. Like, if you are a stay-at-home mum, you're going to be doing the majority of the cooking, the cleaning, and taking care of the kids while your husband works. But that doesn't negate the fact that he also needs to work as well, like inside the home. Like, he has to do some of the cooking, he has to do some of the cleaning, he has to do, child caring. That's, his house, also his children, so he has to take part in that.
Hats off to you. Because even just sometimes for us too, just seems like, overwhelming sometimes. But I always end up pulling myself out of my rut. I tell my husband, who kind of grew up in a culture where it's like shameful kind of for women to be like, to let their house get like that.
Yeah, gender roles can be a bitch like that. And at the same time, I think the stigma would be a lot worse in places outside the West because we have come somewhat of a little bit, but I mean, we still got a long way to go. And I think the mindset of needing to just be a provider as a man or just someone who stays at home and does all the cooking and the cleaning and the nurturing as a woman is kind of outdated. It really is. Like, do what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you happy. And at the end of the day, if someone else disagrees or dislikes it, well, it doesn't matter. They're not part of your life. They're not part of your relationship and you're not sleeping with them, so who cares? And with Foodie, don't care about keeping a clean house for other people. Keep a clean house for yourself and for your partner. Like, that's all really matters. Like, why would you care about other people's opinion when you have to live in it? Make it for you, keep it clean for you. That's all it really comes down to.
But when I become unwell, I'll warn him. I'll be like, it's happening again. I just need a couple days or a few days to snap out of it.
I also think it's important to point out that Foodie herself chose to be a Muslim housewife. Like, she chose to go to the Middle East and be a housewife. So you have to deal with all of the burdens of being a housewife in the Middle East. Like, it can't be all sunshine and rainbows.
The thing is the cure for this unbearable feeling of inertia, of apathy, of just feeling like you can't move, is to move. Because I notice when I start my day with even 10, 15, 20 minutes on the treadmill, I have so much like more energy and I just feel mentally well.
Yes, because both physical and mental health are connected to one another. Like, your brain is part of your body, it's physical aspects, and those physical aspects can also affect your mental and emotional health. You eating healthy is good for you. You exercising is good for you. You going out and socializing, good for you. Those things can play a role on your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. They're all connected in one way. Not one way, some way. I meant to say some way. They're all connected in some way.
So if you're struggling with something similar, what I'm going through, I hear you, and I sympathize.
I have had conversations before and I've asked how do they kind of work themselves out of the slump, and a lot of them tell me it's that why not attitude. Like, if you're going to go to the bathroom, why not brush your teeth? If you're going to go to the kitchen, why not take the plates and cups with you? It's that doing something else while actively doing something you need to do. If you need to go to the bathroom, well, brush your teeth, brush your hair. If you're going to go to the kitchen, well, take those cups and plates with you. If you're going to throw clothing into the washing machine, well, take your blankets with you and make sure your blankets are washed. It's that extra step that makes it easier to get back into the routine. At least that's what they tell me.
I just wanted to show you guys like what I struggle with and what my kitchen can get like. That's pretty bad. That's the worst of the worst when it gets like this.
And that's the frustrating part. Like, you could have done such a better video, except you decided to just do a mukbang and have a serious conversation while doing something not so serious. And it almost feels like a manipulation tactic, because at this point you're getting a lot of criticism for your actions, like the eating unhealthy, breaking the diet, and justifying your actions. People were calling you out for it, and at this point you were kind of deflecting, and you were even arguing in the comments. So it's kind of like, were you taking it seriously? Are you actually going through a depressive episode? Or are you using it as a manipulation tactic to scapegoat accountability again? And, like, you could have done a video where you were actively cleaning up, talking about how you felt and how you feel now. It could have been so much better and people would have took it seriously, but people can't take this seriously because it doesn't seem genuine. It seems fake. That's what it is.
I'll just make something to eat.
You do also need to be very careful with how you phrase things, because that sounds almost like you're just too lazy to do it, instead of saying, I didn't have the energy or I didn't really have the motivation to do so. It's those choice words that kind of lead you into sounding lazy instead of unmotivated or depressed.
Won't bother to clean up after, yada yada. And I do feel really guilty about it, you know?
And yet it doesn't look like it, though.
But it's spotless. From top to floor. I washed the floor twice.
I am so goddamn happy that she is nearly finished, because that scraping of the spoon on the plate is just, it's like nails down a chalkboard.
It's, hopefully gonna stay that way from now on.
Something you could do is also clean up as you go along, because cleaning smaller messes may be easier for some people than cleaning one big mess, especially for someone who is like unmotivated or deals with a lot of depression. That big mess could be very daunting, so you don't want to deal with it. So instead of doing that, just clean up the smaller messes as you go along. Also, something would be really cool for you, Foodie, is stop throwing food on the floor for your cat to eat. Like, you don't want your floors being disgusting and needing to mop 2 or 3 times. Stop throwing food on the floor. Like, I watch you do that so often, and goddamn, that is disgusting.
So I just wanted to show you guys that. Have a bit of dinner with you. Oops. Have a bit of dinner with you and show you my recipe. I will post the recipe in the description or in the comments, maybe as a pinned comment, just to show you guys like the recipe that I used. Man, it is very, very tasty. It would be such a shame to waste it, you know, like I let it simmer for a long time. I roasted tomatoes just to make this. I blended vegetables. Like I put a lot, you know, enough work into it. It's not like I just threw something in the air fryer.
I might be reading too much into this, but I feel like this is probably her throwing shade towards Amber, because that is what Amber does. She'll just throw anything into the air fryer and hope for the best.
But I was careless and I fell asleep, you know. And yeah, but this rice also, oh my gosh, I gotta put my rice recipe. It's delish. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys very much for watching me. And yeah, if you guys like cleaning videos, I don't really like to clean in hijab. It gets hot, but I can do some. And I can also, especially like before and afters, like my house before I clean, after kind of thing. I love watching those things. And
yeah, I would have 100% preferred that over you eating on camera talking about depression.
The problem is, like, there's a lot of, like, on TikTok especially, there's a lot of clean talks, and people just, their house is perfect, you know, and they have an organizer for everything. They have all these gadgets, you know, organization gadgets, and these people, I don't know. I don't think it's the norm. I think, you know, most people don't live that way. And it kind of makes you feel kind of ashamed of how you take care of your own home.
Yeah, that right there is not going to do you any good. Like, do not compare yourself to other people, because it's not going to be the same thing. Just do what works for you and figure it out. It's perfectly fine. If not everything is perfect, not everything needs to be labeled. If some things are not, like, messy, but, like, some things are misorganized. You don't need everything to be in, you know, alphabetical order, or everything needs to be color-coded, or not everything needs a label. Like, you don't need to have a perfect house, just a clean one.
You know, I mean, I let my kitchen get pretty bad, so I understand that, being ashamed of that. But, you know, not having an organizer for your cheese strings in your fridge and stuff like that, like, whatever. I just, I can't. But, yeah, anyway, so. But when I see homes that are, like, really filthy, especially hoarding, it you know, motivates me to clean. And so, yeah. There goes my alarm to take my second metformin today, right after eating. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future. Bye.
Alright guys, come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know that I was pretty lenient in this one. I do have a bit of a soft spot for people with depression. My mom has it, my sister has it, my best friend has it. I got people that I genuinely loved and cared about who unfortunately passed away because of it. So, you know, it's something that does strike home for me. And I'm willing to give Foodie a bit of a break, because honestly, her depression kitchen only affects her and her partner, and if her partner's okay with it and he's okay with living in a mess in which he himself could also clean, that's kind of his own fault to really deal with. Like, yes, it's something that she should also be helping with, but at the same time, he's a grown-ass man, so, like, step up. That being said, hopefully you guys don't mind me being too lenient in this one. I'll save the harsh attitude for when she kind of deserves it. You know, when you use your disability or disorder as an excuse to defend your bad actions, that's when I'm going to really judge you for it. But I don't think it was too bad in this one. That being said, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you lovely people in the next one. Bye bye.